Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a total masterclass in global business survival. We're going to unpack the sheer scale of taking a massive, rigid, incredibly successful global brand and completely rewriting its rulebook to survive and actually thrive in a really complex new market. We are talking about IKEA's entry into India. And this isn't just a story about selling flat-pack tables. It's a fascinating look at how a giant Swedish empire had to fundamentally change its DNA. They literally had to abandon decades of established global retail strategy just to win over one of the most diverse and demanding consumer bases on the planet. Okay, let's dive into this. 43%, that is just a massive number. When IKEA first hit the Indian market back in 2018, their top-of-mind brand recall was sitting at a mere 4%. Fast forwards today, that number has skyrocketed to 43%. In a country of over 1.4 billion people, with incredibly fragmented local markets and deeply ingrained traditional shopping habits, jumping from 4 to 43% in just a few years is nothing short of staggering. So how on earth did they do it? How did they crack the code? Here is the journey we're taking today. We'll be covering 1. The Indian Market Challenge, 2. Rewriting the IKEA playbook, 3. Beyond the big blue box, 4. Overcoming local obstacles, and finally, 5. The winning formula.
Let's start with part 1, the Indian Market Challenge, adapting a Western model to Eastern realities.
Bringing a cookie-cutter European retail concept to India, that was literally never going to work out of the box. I want you to imagine just for a second, trying to fit a standardized, massive Western sofa into a bustling, multi-generational apartment in Mumbai. It just doesn't fit, physically or culturally. IKEA quickly realized their initial mindset had to pivot entirely. They had to shift from simply bringing Swedish furniture to India to bringing their global design philosophy into Indian lifestyles. It wasn't about forcing the product on the market anymore. It was about molding the brand around the reality of how Indian families actually live, work, and share their spaces. To pull that off, you really have to understand the customer. And the Indian consumer doesn't just want something because it's cheap. Their demands are perfectly balanced across 5 pillars. They want affordability, for sure, but they demand an equal 20% focus on aesthetics, functionality, convenience, and personalization. If a piece of furniture looks great and is affordable, but isn't highly functional for a small space or it lacks a personal touch, it won't sell. IKEA had to figure out how to deliver on all 5 of these pillars simultaneously. Moving on to part 2, rewriting the IKEA playbook, the 4 Ps of marketing adapted for India. So to hit all 5 of those consumer demands, IKEA had to be incredibly surgical with their marketing mix. Under product, they hyper-focused on multifunctional, space-saving, and modular items to fit smaller urban homes. But look at price. They instituted a uniform pricing model, meaning the price online is the exact same as in-store. This builds massive trust. For place, they didn't just build giant stores, they created a whole omni-channel web of city stores and apps. And for promotion, they stopped just showing pictures of furniture and started telling lifestyle stories centered around the theme, "It all starts at home." When you put the global playbook right next to the localized India strategy, the contrast is actually wild. Globally, IKEA is known for giant suburban stores, standardized sizes, and strict DIY. You buy it, you build it. But in India, that pure DIY model is essentially dead on arrival. Culturally, Indians are very used to having furniture delivered and assembled for them. So IKEA adapted. They introduced city stores, aggressive app integration, and critically, full delivery and assembly services tailored specifically for small, multi-generational living spaces. Which brings us to part 3, beyond the big blue box, mastering the omni-channel approach. If you can't just rely solely on massive out-of-town megastores, you gotta get creative. Look at how this builds over a really short timeline. They entered the market in 2018, but 2025 is where the omni-channel strategy gets super aggressive. In March 2025, they launch online delivery in the massive Delhi NCR region, offering over 7,000 products digitally. Then, right on its heels in mid-2025, they open a 15,000 square foot city store right inside Delhi's Pacific Mall. This is genius. The physical city store might only hold a curated 2,000 items that you can touch and feel, but it acts as a gateway, unlocking those 7,000 additional products for the customer to order online right then and there. And this brilliantly illustrates the feedback loop that acts as the engine behind that expansion. IKEA treats e-commerce as way more than just a sales channel. It's a massive intelligence gathering tool. A customer's digital search generates data.
That data turns into market insights, and those insights literally dictate store planning and ensure a localized assortment of products. So think about it. If online data shows a huge spike in searches for modular kitchen storage in a specific deli neighborhood, you better believe the physical city store in that area is going to prominently feature modular kitchen storage. The digital directly shapes the physical. This completely changes what a store actually is. In India, an IKEA is defined by experiential marketing. The store is no longer just a place to pick up a bookshelf. It is a retail outlet, plus a showroom, plus a media channel, plus an experience center, plus a community space. It's a whole destination. You go to walk through complete hyper-localized lifestyle setups, you get interior planning advice, attend a workshop, and yeah, obviously eat at the Swedish cafe. It's a fully immersive brand experience that conventional advertising simply cannot match. Part 4. Overcoming local obstacles. Facing the market realities. Now, of course, it hasn't all been Swedish meatballs and skyrocketing sales. There's a serious stack of hurdles IKEA still battles every single day. First, price perception. In the West, custom carpentry is a luxury. But in India, hiring a local carpenter to build custom furniture is super common and often perceived as a better, more durable value. Then there's the aversion to DIY culture we talked about earlier. Add in the geographic limits of reaching people outside major metros, the intense demand for local customization, and the sheer, incredibly expensive logistical nightmare of delivering bulky flat-pack boxes across India's complex infrastructure. These are massive threats to the business model. Which forces a pretty pivotal question. In the face of intense local competition, huge price sensitivity, and customization challenges, how do you build lasting loyalty beyond just a single one-time furniture purchase? How do you keep them coming back when the local carpenter is just down the street? Well, the answer lies in the IKEA family ecosystem. This isn't just some basic punch card. It's a serious relationship builder. It's a free membership that offers member-only pricing, which tackles that price perception hat-on, but it also offers workshops and community events, making the store a real hub. Furthermore, they're leveraging AI personalization through tools like IKEA Creative, helping users visualize spaces digitally. The entire goal here is transitioning someone from a transactional, one-off buyer into a continuous, lifelong relationship with a community member who generates data and repeat business. Finally, Part 5, the winning formula, synthesizing global scale with local insight. Let's synthesize all these localized tactics into one core brand positioning. It all starts at home. You see, IKEA recognized that the Indian home is uniquely multifunctional. It's not just a place to sleep. It acts as a workplace, a classroom, a creative space, and a super vibrant family hub all at once. By tailoring their marketing and product displays to reflect this exact reality, they stopped marketing themselves merely as a foreign Swedish company. Instead, they positioned themselves as indispensable experts in how Indians actually live. So the crucial point is that their blueprint is captured perfectly right here in this equation. IKEA's success in India isn't just one magic trick. It is the exact combination of affordable design, plus deep Indian lifestyle insights, plus massive digital reach, plus experiential retail, plus omni-channel convenience, all wrapped up in emotional brand building. Any competitor could maybe copy one or two of these things, but replicating the entire ecosystem, that is absolutely incredibly difficult. IKEA really proved that to win a market as complex as India, you can't just export your identity. You have to let the market redefine it. They bent their rigid global rules without breaking their core brand values, which leaves us with a fascinating thought to end on today. As they continue to expand across the globe, what other massive emerging market will force IKEA to completely change its DNA next? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning how the brands around you are adapting to survive.